You know, I was married to a Chinese woman for several years, and it was really annoying. Like, she would always want to keep old food that was probably almost spoiled, if not all the way. It's a stereotype that's actually true, and the reason is kind of haunting. And actually, I was a lot less annoyed by that after I learned about this. That resistance to throw out old food is something that every Chinese kid grows up with. And it's because their parents actually probably knew some relative or friend who starved to death. Just like people like Jeffrey Epstein find people at their lowest moment, those billionaires in that moment saw a great opportunity for low-priced labor. That's when we began our involvement with China. After Chairman Mao's failed policy and not getting educated and having like more of a working-based society. And now, the reason that more than half of you watching are programmed with all sorts of false misinformation about China is because they're doing better economically now, and there's cheaper labor in other countries, and those billionaire capitalists see that. So if you don't think you should just use people and then throw them out like a whore after sex, then you gotta stand up for China right now. Every piece of clothing you're wearing right now was likely made in China. It's hard work, and they did that for you. Now, do you really just want to be like, well, you're not the cheapest slave now, so you're dead to me? That's really it. There is no greater truth that China is the worst government in the world. They're just as crappy as every other government. Every single thing. Tiananmen Square, you can point to. Kent State University. You for prisons. Oh, really? With the U.S. population of prisoners, we have room to talk about something? George Floyd, we have the room to talk. Not only did they make your shirts, they gave you all the bailout money because they're the biggest purchasers of U.S. T-bills there is. I sat in a church and listened to the preacher say they're not allowed to have any religion in China. Then when I was in a small town in China, I actually saw the Islamic Center with the Islamic people playing basketball there. I have video footage in front of a Christian church in Qingdao, China. Same church said that there was no Islamic word for Allah. I asked a Muslim about that, and they actually cracked up laughing. And that same church was pro-Trump in the end, of course. And the biggest thing of all, who would you trust with your life? The US government or the Chinese? Newsflash for you, China has universal health care, and when I was married, we literally waited to get checked out until we got to China. And it might have taken half the day, but when you add up how much money you're saving, you're making like $200 an hour just sitting there waiting to get treated. So now you know the truth why all these billionaires are programming people to hate China.